Podcast Reborn is a mature podcast that can and will contain some spoilers for portions of Final Fantasy XIV. You have been warned. Enjoy the show. From the many realms of Atheris to the distant reaches of the 13th via the magic of podcasting, this is episode 28 of A Podcast Reborn, a show celebrating our journey in the past, present, and possible future of Final Fantasy XIV. This episode's being recorded on Saturday, July 7th of 2023. Yes, I got the year right. Off to a great start.
You did not get the month right, however.
You said
I did say January.
You said July.
Said January. He said January.
I heard July.
Absolutely.
You're going to make me go back and listen to this. You know what? I'm not re-recording this. If I said July, fine. But I could have sworn I said January.
I heard January.
Damn you for ruining this
Maybe
intro.
I need to replace my headphones.
Anyhow, my name is Brian Black, otherwise known as Ro. With me, as usual, is a prim and dashing Chaos Gremlin whom, without argument, is in possession of the best Christmas wrapping paper of all time. Hi, Meagan.
Hello. So, yes, they changed because they're letting us unlock a bunch of, they're taking off the gender requirements on a bunch of things. So they had to change it from ladies and gentlemen to prim and dashing. And I'm both, definitely.
And there's nothing wrong with identifying as both prim and dashing, sure. I think every Vieira, by definition, is prim and dashing.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Definitely got people dashing to ask him out on a date.
Oh, man.
And that voice, of course, also with me is an old man who is on the run from an angry mob who can't believe he put grilled chicken in his pho. I don't know what the big deal is about that. That sounds fucking amazing to me. Hi, Brandon.
Hi.
Chicken what?
Pho.
Do you know what pho? Do you know what pho
Oh.
is?
Do you know what pho is?
I'm vegetarian, so.
Well, it's basically like a noodle soup with vegetables in it. You can add meat or not. Anyway, hi everybody. I just want to say that if I got that wrong at the start of the show and he didn't say July, I'm sorry I ruined everything. It happens. But in other news, someone told me that Sin Eaters weigh an awful lot, but I don't know. I think they're pretty light. You snorted. It counts.
And it's good.
My soul escaping my body.
Before we go on any further, and I ask everyone what they've been up to, I want to say welcome to a new listener. And by welcome, I mean at the time that we're recording this, they are on episode 11. You may remember a few times in the past, I've talked about how my character's house has been cleaned by a Lalafell housekeeper. Zim, yes.
Is it Zim? Are they finally listening?
Zim is finally listening because Zim finished Endwalker with a little help from my Selfish 6.0 just a few days ago. So, welcome to post 6.0 MSQ. She just started 6.1 content, and I told her that means that she can now listen to the first 11 episodes of the show, but then she has to finish 6.1 to unlock several more, and she's already head deep into 6.1 content because she has fallen in love with the three of us talking, so.
I bet she would love Island Sanctuaries.
She is well underway in Island Sanctuaries, actually. It's one of the first things that she has been into.
Awesome. We're in the Discord for the it's not a guild, free company. My brain I've had bad brain all day today, but she's always asking for pictures of butterscotch. And I'm like, don't ask me because I will flood you.
So yeah, welcome to her, and of course welcome to anyone else who may be listening to us somehow, possibly for the first time. We do talk about lots of spoilers here, so as the warning I give at the beginning of the show is, so you have been warned. All of that said, it's been about a month since our last episode. We've got definitely a lot that we can talk about since the 6.3 patch notes just dropped a day or two ago. A live letter happened. The patch is dropping in a matter of hours. So plenty of places we can go to today. Will we end up spending half the show talking about anime instead? Who knows? Let's see if Meagan decides that for us. How has your month been, Meagan?
Did you finish Chainsaw Man?
About Chainsaw Man.
Did-
So about that.
Season 1 is done now. It was real good.
So I haven't watched another episode since we last recorded, and it's not because I don't want to, it's just because between work and vacation and diving into a couple other games, I completely forgot that Chainsaw Man was a thing.
God damn it.
As it should be.
This is what happens when I don't spam Chainsaw Man everywhere all the time.
I do plan to continue watching it. Matter of fact, the funny thing about all that is when I was preparing the very, very brief notes that I do for myself for the show, I realized, fuck, I haven't watched any Chainsaw Man. Megan's going to disapprove.
Well, I watched another anime that I thought was really good, and I think that you guys would like.
Okay.
It's called Bocchi the Rock, and it is about... Oh my god! Fuck you. It is about a high school girl with extreme social anxiety trying to play guitar in a rock band. And it is hilarious, and it is adorable.
Substitute guitar for drums, and that's basically my high school experience.
There you go. Watch it.
Why would I want to relive that?
Because you can laugh at it now, and it's funny, and it's adorable because it's cute anime girls.
Speaking of anime girls, I have to confess something here.
Uh-oh.
My daughter has started watching Sailor Goddamn Moon.
Yes! Okay, there's Sailor Moon posters all over my walls, so... Who's her favorite? Mine's Jupiter.
I have no idea. I haven't asked her.
Oh my god, every girl has a favorite. Yeah, ask her who...
You know who Amelie's favorite Sailor Scout is? She has no idea. Also, my wife's sitting in the room. She's listening to my half the conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Be like, what the hell's wrong with you? But, hi, Karen.
Hi.
Anyway, yeah, I tried to throw her out in the streets for this heinous crime, but my wife said I'm not allowed, so...
I would highly recommend, if your daughter's into Sailor Moon, that she check out the live-action version called Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. It's really fun. It really heavily leans into the Sentai aspect of it, which is like the live-action, like Power Rangers kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like half Power Rangers, half soap opera, and Luna is a stuffy, like a little plushy cat instead of an actual cat because they don't have the budget for an actual cat. It's so much fun. It's so campy and hilarious, and I love it. So, yes. Sailor Moon was my first big thing, man. Let me tell you. When I was in middle school, me and my group of girlfriends, we all decided who was which Sailor Scout, and then we would like try to cosplay them to go to school. I got bangs because I was into Sailor Moon.
Speaking of which, I do like your new hairstyle, even though Butterscotch seems to judge it.
Thank you. Yeah, well, Butterscotch doesn't know how to not judge. That's all she does.
Yeah,
I mean, she's a cat. What did we expect?
She's been really cute the past few days. I think she missed us when we traveled up to see our family over Christmas. Mm-hmm. So she's been very clingy.
Aww. Have you been able to get much time in game over the past few weeks? I mean, with the holidays and stuff, usually the answer to that is no, so I wouldn't.
Yes. We've been mostly doing, Rival Wings for the Mogstones.
Okay.
Ward's really into it. I'm into it too, but not. He's like really, really into it. Like I'll wake up, he wakes up at like 6 a.m. every day because he goes to work at 6 a.m. So he'll be awake before I wake up, and I'm like roll over, and he's like fighting in a giant robot, and I'm like, yes, Rival Wings. It is a fun battleground. I really am looking forward to Crystalline Conflict being, not 30-minute queues again.
Right.
Like, Crystalline Conflict is my favorite thing to do in game. And it's usually the easiest thing to do, but no longer. And now it's like a 30-minute queue, no matter what you queue as.
Everyone got their season rewards, I guess.
Yeah, I did finish out the season, but I think I did that before the holidays. Otherwise, I've been back on my beaver bullshit because my beaver game got an update. Now you can craft robot beavers to work for you.
It took me a minute when you said you were on your beaver bullshit. It took me a minute to try to think, what the hell is she talking about? You're talking about your beaver sim game. Okay, gotcha.
Timberborn, okay? It's really fun. And I think it's on sale right now. I don't know. I bought it, like a year ago or something. It's still technically in early access. So they occasionally have these big updates where they add a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I've got a beaver colony. I think it's the most successful one I've ever had. We actually have like surpluses of everything, and we're well on our way to making, what do they call them? Timber bots. They're literally like little robot beavers that you can make do the work for your beavers, so your beavers can just live a life of luxury, playing in the mud baths and riding the carousel. I can make them a carousel. It's fun. It's like a tier below steampunk. It's like river punk because everything is like from water wheels and like windmills and literally like hamster wheels that the beavers run in.
I don't even know what to make of this. I don't think I knew what to make of it the first time you talked about it, but that sounds
I love
ridiculous.
Colony building sims. Like
I know.
The other one I'm really into is Surviving Mars, which I don't know if you guys have ever seen that or played it. You're literally like colonizing Mars, which is really fun. I got some money as a gift for Christmas, so I spent like half of it on Final Fantasy store items, and then the other half I bought expansion packs for Surviving Mars and RimWorld. So yeah, I finally have the religion and ideology expansions for RimWorld. I have not really played it that much though, because Beavers got updated and I got really excited.
I would be really interested in seeing what your Steam replay looks like.
Oh my god! It's so bad. It was literally like when almost completely City Skylines. Like I really do. I also really enjoy City Skylines. I think that's another one. And then like Planet Zoo is another big one, which I haven't been playing lately, but I kind of want to. It's like the problem is the games that I love are the kind of games that just suck your life out of you, and you play for like 4 hours in a sitting, and then you're like, "What the fuck did I just do?" So like playing multiples of those, not to mention playing like 6 of them. Trying to like vacillate back and forth between which ones you're playing. It's a little bit difficult.
I mean, it 'tis the season. Moogle Tombstone Month is definitely... I mean, they do tombstones during the month before the patch for a reason, because for a lot of people, it's their time to be playing something else, and this is tombstones are a way for them to get back into the game. I must have farmed about... I'm trying to do the rough math here. About 200 tombstones before I was finally done, and I ended up getting that Falcon mount that I guess you could no longer get, the little airship thing.
The little rocket?
Yep.
The rocket on wheels?
Yeah, the rocket one. I got the bird that you can get from doing Sophia because I didn't want to run Sophia 30 times to try to get it. And I only need the bird from Zervin to get the Firebird.
Nice.
Yep. And I also got the sheep mount and a couple of Orchestrion rolls, Heartless, which is a pretty freaking amazing Orchestrion roll. You could get that as a rare drop in the Omega stuff, but Heartless is good. There's some really good music in Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, obviously, duh. But there's a
understatement of the freaking millennium.
Yes, but there's some music that like... Because it's in, a raid or an alliance raid and stuff like that, you normally only hear it when you're in there. And then, like, months later, something like that, you come across it and you're just like, oh man, yeah, there's this badass music in the place I haven't been to in ages. So definitely added a few things to my Orchestrion rotation there. I've been doing, outside of that, I've been doing Casino RP as usual, running the Crimson Casino. Things have been going well there. I had a Starlight Festival themed for December. Ended up buying a lot of store items when they were on sale to make things look Christmassy.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yes.
Nice.
And then at the end of the year, I had to change for a new theme for January. So the new theme for January is the Great Chocobo Race. So I have Chocobo wallpaper, and I have Chocobo flooring on the top floor, and I have all sorts of different Chocobo items around. And you may be wondering, why have I incorporated Chocobo racing into it? Well, racing, casino gambling, it's part of Gold Saucer stuff, and so there's that and all. But one thing I haven't really talked about on the show, for about the past 6 or 7 weeks, Zim got me introduced to Chocobo racing. This was like shortly after I'd gotten the Triple Triad card mount. She was like, okay, now you have to try Chocobo racing. It's like, I played it a couple of times, and just played it a couple of times, and it didn't seem all that interesting.
Oh my god, I love Chocobo racing.
Here's the trick to get hooked onto Chocobo racing.
Mm-hmm.
You need to Chocobo race against another player and be in a live call with them.
Oh my god.
You
I've never done that.
And you are forever hooked.
Yeah, I've never done that. I don't know. I really like Mario Kart, so Chocobo racing reminds me a lot of that. The key to it is to do the like quick tug back on the reins to stop being lathered.
Yeah.
And then mostly sprint. Like sprint and then you yank back, and then sprint and then yank back. But yeah, I've done a lot of Chocobo breeding and racing. I never like maxed out, but I did that on my my rating Meagan for a while.
This is how deep I am into Chocobo racing, Meagan. I've only been playing it about a month and a half, and I currently have a Generation 5 Chocobo.
Nice! What color?
Wow.
Funny you should mention that. You know, I see all these great colorful Chocobos that I race against, red and blue and purple and green and stuff, and every fucking generation of Chocobo I've had has been yellow. No matter what kind of bird I cover it with, mate it with, however you want to call it,
Yeah.
I can mate it with a blue, a red, a purple, a green, always comes out yellow. I think I'm cursed.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, okay, would you rather have it be yellow or brown? Because I had the brown curse for a while.
I mean, I'd take brown just to know that it's possible to get a Chocobo that's not yellow.
Oh, man. Yeah, I always thought it was
God.
extremely funny that you get the little, like, these Chocobo gonna fuck animation cutscene that you gotta watch.
They only take a half an hour to mate and have a kid that you can race right away. I mean, they get things done.
It used to be like 12 hours. Like, you had to come back the next day. I was glad when they changed that, but yeah, it is a little like, what are Chocobos?
They're magical.
They are bird costumes stuffed full of Lalafels.
Speaking of bird costumes, one of my favorite parts of the 6.3 patch notes.
Oh, yes.
The Chocobo stuff is now going to be dyeable. I will be dyeing all of my Chocobo stuff that I can wear red, obviously.
Obviously.
In my big rating team, there was a guy who was a Lalafell who was always in full Chocobo costume.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I bet he's happy now.
It's even more amusing seeing Male Roganin in full Chocobo gear.
Oh my god.
wearing the fat Chocobo head, too.
It is a bit terrifying, yes.
Yeah.
Is it a requirement for hardcore raiders to have to wear silly meme costumes?
Yes.
Because every time I see like a clip or a video of any of them, it's like they're all either half naked in swimsuits or in one of the various animal costumes or some combination thereof.
Well, we would have like theme nights. And we actually did themes depending on what we were fighting. So when we were fighting against the Phoenix, we would do swimsuits because it's really hot in there. And then for the alligator, we would wear like raincoats and like water stuff because he literally splashes sewer water on you. So we were all like, ew. Yeah, wear your coats.
Protection, please.
And then when we would fight the end boss, the big vampire guy, it was goth. Everybody had to come dressed in a goth outfit.
Of course.
So before we dive deeper into patch notes and stuff like that, Brandon, how has your few weeks been over holidays and leading up to the here and
now? Up until recently, it hasn't been super detailed. I've been traveling a lot for the holidays, seeing family members I haven't gotten to see in a few years because the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And since we got back, I've kind of dived back into trying to meet some of the goals on one of my alts, my Femro specifically. I'm just trying to level up some of her jobs so that I can do role quests. But I've also been kind of trying to do all the prerequisites to do all of Tataru's Grand Endeavor on her, because that glam you're supposed to be able to get in the next patch looks really good and very samurai inspired, and I think she'd look good in it. So I've been trying to get all the prerequisites done. So I had to do the Heavensward Alliance raids, and I'm on my way working through the Four Lords quest line because that's going to be required next patch to complete that series. So I think I've got one more trial to do. I think I've got to do Seiryu, and then I should be done with that. So yeah, looking forward to when that's done. I can just blitz through the whole quest line on her and then get the cool little robe thingy.
So bringing up glamour reminded me of something, and something that's kind of time sensitive. I'm going to say right now that I have not done the Heaven's Turn quests, the seasonal quest thing.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. It has been spoiled to me that there is a fortune telling element to it in which your character's fortune is told. And I'm probably going to be doing this quest when we finish recording tonight. That being said, have the two of you done your fortune telling, and I'm interested how it came out.
Yeah.
I've done it on two different characters, yes.
I posted Meagan, screenshots in the Tarika, my RP character, got great fortune. Ooh. And hilariously, Ward's character, Koeta, got great misfortune. So,
opposites attract.
That was very funny. And then my main character got, I think it was small fortune. They come with, it's really fun. They come with
Is
a whole
she a
little.
Lalafell? I mean,
she's a cat girl. Cat girl forever. Nobody can make me change. Well, they come with all these little advice things for different areas, which is really fun.
Yeah, I saw one screen of a fortune, and I didn't look at too detailed, but I'm interested in getting the fortune told for sure before.
Oh yeah,
I think we have till the 15th or something.
Well, it's also really fun because this is literally a Japanese tradition for the new year. And and the quest is all about hello, we are from the East. We're bringing you our Eastern traditions because you are here in the West. And I'm like, haha, this is so meta.
Yeah, I think I got grave misfortune on my main, but my Femro got fair fortune, and under the adventure category, it says a case is afoot. It lists the services of the most gentlemanly of inspectors.
I'm literally trying to blitz through that on my RP main just so I can get the weapons. It's so annoying.
At least the Hildebrand stuff and the questline stuff isn't going to continue until 635, so you still got some time to catch up.
True. But I also just want to have the weapons.
Right.
But
I've got 3 of them so far, and I gotta admit they do look pretty good. I mean, I'm very, very happy they're not joke weapons. But
yeah,
I think we talked about this already. But
the glow effects,
really cool,
I'm really interested in what the glowing.
Yeah, me too. But also, it's just there are not a lot of cool looking dancer weapons in the game at all. So since I main a dancer on Tarika, I'm give me the shiny thing.
What does the Manderville dancer weapon look like? I don't think I've seen that one yet.
I'm pretty sure it's just very golden. That's
cool.
That's all I care about. And I know it's going to glow eventually. Right now I'm running around with the new Titania ones with the big butterfly wings coming off them. And I think they poop out little butterflies also.
Why do you have to describe it like that?
How would you describe it then?
Emit?
Emits?
Yeah.
No, like you emit something like a smell or like a magnetic wave. Oh. No, you're literally dropping little nuggets of something.
Jesus Christ.
So is this episode titled Butterfly Nuggets or what? I think Butterfly Nuggets.
Why not? Let's go for it.
Like, I say stupid shit, but I have a reason, okay?
No pun intended.
Unlike with me, where the pun's always intended.
Yeah, my puns are never intended. I always think about it for a minute, and then I'm like, damn it.
You know, I realize there's one more thing that Meagan, that you and I haven't talked about yet. Our free company has changed.
Oh yeah,
it's severely different now. So the free company, our free company isn't that big. It has several people in it. But after some events happened, the leader of the FC wanted to kind of like rebrand and retool the FC and give it a new direction as far as our RP and stuff like that, and change what was in the house and all that. So Sarah redid the house and has some friends in like other venues and stuff like that. So basically, the Stars Herald newspaper thing is no longer a thing. And now the building is called the Executive Lounge. And from what I remember, it's kind of like, it's supposed to have kind of a Final Fantasy VII-esque Shinra theme to it. And it's essentially like a Shinra nightclub.
Yeah.
And my main character is in the FC that is tied to this venue. And it's kind of weird right now.
Yeah, it's I don't know how closely you looked at the menu.
I've glanced at it. I can also tell you that the venue, the Executive Lounge, does provide services. I will tell you right now that my character is not administering said services. Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know what? I'm just going to say it. There are a lot of RP venues in Final Fantasy XIV. I imagine over half of these nightclub venues in Final Fantasy XIV provide services for ERP. And if you know what? If ERP is your thing, that's cool. That's fine. You do you. Everyone has different play styles for this thing, and no one should be judged for how they play the game.
Yeah. And considering that, like, it's not against TOS, and it's like, hey, just do it in your own room.
Yeah, just don't be in Limsa, doing wacky things and typing them out, and don't be in the quicksand in Ul'dah, and you misdo something on your tel macro, and then instead you yell it in piss chat for everyone to see. That would be bad. That would be against TOS. I have actually seen this happen in the quicksand in Ul'dah once. Don't ask me what I was doing in the quicksand in Ul'dah. That's not your business.
Oh my god. Whew. Well, so this has been an interesting turn for our, all of our RP characters.
I had to go there, but I am considering, because I have like an FC room in there. I'm actually considering: do I want to put a casino room in there, or do I want to just let them have my room and let them theme it and sell it so it can be one of the rooms for people to have intimate role playing in? I don't know. There's the thing too. It's like, because I don't use the room in the FC house, and I know that they're saying like, hey, if you're not using your room in the FC house, let us know if we can use it. And I'm like,
I feel like running a casino night in there would be absolutely on brand and appropriate.
Me too. And I think I'll do I think I'm going to do a mini casino room thing in there, because I used to do the casino out of an apartment before, so.
And it would be like you're in, for the for character connection and be like, hello, yes, I run a casino in here. I don't know what I'm going to do with Trika. Maybe I'll make like a dance studio or something. I've decided to like kind of reboot her and sort of tweak her backstory since the implosion of the newspaper she was supposed to be working at as a maid. I'm not going to have her work as a maid in the new establishment because that has some implications.
Yeah.
Just a few.
So, I have a flower shop, and I do want to like open it up to like RP in it, but I don't know. I need to like scout out somebody else doing some retail RP and see how they do it. Because I know coffee shops are very popular. I know cafes are very popular, but
Quick question. There are some friends of the FC who, like, on Thursday nights, on the other Thursdays at the executive lounges that open, there's this one RP place called Sage and Secrets. Have you ever brought Turika over there?
Mm-mm.
That might be one to check out. It's like a herb and potion apothecary shop, but it has a little extra RP and stuff to it too.
Okay,
but there's
cool.
there's a number of like shops, RP shops and stuff like that. They don't necessarily advertise in Party Finder, but like if you look at some of the online resources for like RP venues and such, you can find them.
Yeah, because like the in-game assets, there's like ones for clothing shops, flower shops, and potion shops, and like all kinds of. I think they have like book selling stands, and like if you look in the tags on the property, you can like tag it as like a bookshop or a library or a cafe or So I have like all of the flower shop stuff, and I have it tagged as a flower shop, but like I'm never there.
I mean, hell, Zim has a literal washing machine and dryer inside of her home. She used the steampunk walls that were recently added in 6.2 that are like Alexandra-esque steampunk walls, and attached door panels to them that open and close, so it looks like a steampunk-esque washer and dryer, and she RPs opening them to toss clothes in and take them out and stuff. It's great.
My god, that's so cute. Yeah, what I'm planning to do right now, my flower shop is full of flowers in vases. Like I've been growing flowers and putting them in vases. You cannot get the flowers back out again is the problem. So they are permanently in the vases. So I'm like, I want to grow. Yeah. You either destroy them to put in new flowers or you just leave them forever. So my plan is to either grow a bunch of flowers myself or just buy them off the auction house because people are always selling them for like 50 gil a piece.
Yeah.
And then just like stand behind the counter and be like, hello, would you like some flowers? What color flower would you like? Or would you like a recommendation? I can even like Google some Victorian flower language and shit. Really get into it. But I also
they even added more flowers in 6.3 for you. Like
yes. Oh, they're adding these adorable what would you call it? Like a lattice that goes on top of the flower pot with flowers growing up it.
Mm-hmm.
I think but you harvest them also, so it's not gonna stay that way forever. But oh man, I want to have those like growing in the pot. The problem, I wish we could have more than 2 flower pots inside. Like as a flower shop, it's like, yeah, you can grow 2 flowers at a time. I'm like, excellent.
I mean, I doubt they would ever go this deep, but it'd be really cool if like if they added shop classifications to buildings, and like if you classified your building as like a certain kind of shop that would allow you extra access to like certain NPCs for selling things, or allows you to certain extra decorations and such. That
would be cool. Yeah. I just like, oh man, I'm really bad at remembering my gardening stuff. Luckily, flowers only require like 1 watering and then they like bloom the next day. But if you're trying to dye them different colors, you have to put different colored pot soil or the pumice, which is, I don't know, it's a rock, man. I don't know how, like, this is not how flowers work in the real world. But yeah, I enjoyed making the room or making the house. I did some fun stuff with the Ishgardian couches that have like the big giant lily bloom coming out of the top. I like put that in, and then I put the like flower display like around it. So I think you can still glitch through it and sit in it if you hit /sit next to it, but it looks nice. Yeah. Ward's been working hard on his 3-company room, but he's making it into like a study with like a secret room in the back. So he's like still doing it as like in character for his character. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
All right. Well, we've somehow managed to get halfway into the show, just catching up and stuff. Let's talk a little bit about 6.3 hype and whatnot. So, I don't know if either of you saw the live letter, but whether you did or not, we know a whole lot more since then because they dropped the patch notes for all this, and it amazes me how much they put into a patch. And the funny thing is that like, this isn't even all of it, because one of the main things I'm looking forward to, like the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, doesn't even come out on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to the Deep Dungeon, and that's 635. Cause just the theme of the place, because I guess the new Deep Dungeon is basically, when we saw the name was Eureka Orthos, I'm like, oh, they're tying this to the Eureka questline. No, it is not tied to the Eureka in like that at all. This Deep Dungeon takes place underneath the Crystal Tower, and I am definitely interested.
Yeah, Ward said it's like what the Eureka Zone was named after, I think. So yes, I'm very excited to do more Crystal Tower stuff.
A big underground laboratory with a whole bunch of elegant stuff, and that has a lot of implications and such. And I'm interested to see what kind of story things happen there. But we don't even have to bother with that for like 2 months, because there's too many other things we're going to be doing.
Indeed.
I am curious if we're going to end up like, because the other Deep Dungeons, it feels like you're going almost like upwards. At least in Heaven on High, I don't really quite know how Palace of the Dead looks structurally.
Palace of the Dead is definitely going down.
Oh, you are going down? Okay, well then I'm guessing that this new one is going to be similar.
Oh yeah.
It literally starts with you running into a hole.
I suppose that's true. It's been way too long since I've done Palace of the Dead. I don't remember how it starts.
Well, I just, like a couple weeks ago, I did it on Tarika because I hadn't done it before. I got to the level 50 or whatever you need to for the new one. So I was like, oh yeah, I should do that. I was doing it as not Bard but Archer, because I boosted her, so she has Dancer and Machinist at max level, and then like Archer is like level 20. I don't think it's even level 20. I think it's in the teens. Like, it's really pathetic.
Oh,
I'm like, she don't sing, okay? She just dance.
Well, Brandon, how about you? As far as like of all of the content that they're putting in, like what's some of the stuff you want to jump in first and foremost?
I mean, the first thing, first and foremost, I'm probably going to do is obvious. It's going to be the MSQ. I'm very curious as to where the story's going, because the screenshots we have that go with it, at least one of them shows you hanging around in Garlemald, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe they said that the new dungeon takes place there. But I know that's not where we're going to start, because the first patch, the first quest of this patch is called Once More Unto the Void. So I'm interested for how we're going to jump from going to the Void to, oh hey, suddenly we need to go over to Garlemald to see what's going on over there. It'll be interesting to see what the tie-in is.
There's enough happening in Garlemald that they are giving it the instance treatment. So I guess we're going to be in Garlemald a lot, because they're creating separate instances so that there's not a whole lot of overcrowding in there.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I'm like, oh.
Interesting indeed. I'm eager to see what the story progression is for the Alliance raid. Not exactly happy about having to work with Grauhatia, but at least Kryl and Snowgheim are there, so can't complain about that. I'm hoping we get more story as to learning what exactly the 12 are, where they came from, and if there's 12 of them, you would expect that we'd get 4 per Alliance raid, but we're seeing images of 5 of them this time around, which makes me think something else is going to be the final boss of this Alliance raid, and I very much want to know what.
People are saying that there's going to be another twin fight, but separate twins instead of
instead of them just being one god.
Twin butts, twin face under the robe. I don't.
I knew you were going to go there.
Come on, man. I gotta.
I know.
and people are way, way, way too thirsty to see what Nafka looks like from the front.
Oh, not just that.
Meagan knows exactly what I'm talking about, too.
The amount of people who are like, Halone, please step on me. I'm just like, what is wrong with you all?
What's wrong with you?
I don't like physical pain being inflicted upon me. I don't
not even by a hot giant woman?
No!
You don't
want to kiss a hot giant woman. I don't want to
have a blazing, icy sword crash upon your body?
Oh my god.
No! Just let me kiss her.
You are the most vanilla square that has ever lived.
No, I'm not. I just don't understand why people are like, please inflict pain on me.
I repeat my past statement.
You know what? Fuck off.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, but to your point on the whole 5 thing, I think they almost had to do it like that because what would a final boss be for the 12? Like, what opposes the 12 now that...
I don't know, but I think something's involved with them as to why they're suddenly revealing themselves and why the heck they keep making us want to fight them, even though they clearly are like, no, we actually love you guys.
We just want to see how strong you are.
Yeah, it's like they're testing us to see, like, hey, can you, prove yourself and make sure you're strong enough to fight this big threat that's coming your way? I'm like, didn't we just do this with Heidelin? But yeah, probably.
I mean, that's how they show they care. Okay, they gotta beat you up sometimes.
It's kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but this is it's kind of a trope in storytelling, period, but especially in Japanese storytelling and like anime, manga, and stuff like that. The whole "we must fight to see if you are worthy" trope.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a really big thing.
It's a very generally in like a lot of manga and anime, everything's very battle focused.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like a video game thing, and also just like I don't know, what do you call it, like an ancient storytelling thing. It's always like trials and proving yourself and blah blah blah. So I'm like, yeah, and like, what, this is a raid, like we can't talk it out, okay?
You mean we can't have a vehicle fight where we fly dragons and press 3 buttons? I'm sorry.
Or drive steam tanks? Yeah, it just calls to mind something Alphino said in Stormblood, where he's like, just once I would like to meet someone and not immediately be challenged to a battle to the death with them.
I forgot that he said that.
Yeah, it was like right after you convince Hakuro and the other Wolfmen to come back to your side.
Oh.
All right, so definitely MSQ for you. I'm curious what the MSQ trial is going to be. Because yes, it's probably just one of the other 2 fiends, or it could be both of them at the same time.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's that one.
And then our third trial is probably in like 6-4 or 6-5, whatever is Golbez. But could they pull a fast one on us? I don't know. But who's the boss? Is the boss of the dungeon significant? Are they going to do? They could do it the way they did the previous one. They could have one of those fiends be the boss of the dungeon and another one be the trial. So curious to see how that all plays out. And then on top of all that, it's like we keep on talking about Asjaya, Ritra's sister, and the popular theory that she's Golbez's shadow dragon, which pretty much seems to be the case based on, some of the hints that they've been planting along there. Who knows? But definitely a lot of curiosity there.
Yeah, I think the other major thing I'm excited about is finally we're getting an Endwalker treasure map that's the spin the wheel one. Because I am so bored of, hey, pick a side to go on and we'll see if you get kicked out.
I'm definitely, it's going to have new boss fights, which is cool. One thing I pointed out to Brandon before we hit record is that there's a picture of this wheel, and the frog spots aren't frogs.
What are they?
I don't know.
I can't tell.
I dropped the picture in the Discord, Meagan, if you want to take a look, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Oh, those are weird.
They are weird.
I know.
They kind of look like Ascian masks, but not red.
These dungeons do happen to be in Elpis, so
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe some ancient business.
Oh, and maybe the pink spots are proto-Atomoses or something.
Oh yeah, it does look like a big void and then like a little angry face on top.
Mm-hmm. But they're adding new loot and stuff to it, and I'm like I said, I hope that the treasure map for this is now the new thing that you get out of your Wondrous Tales book. I think they're going to do it that way so that people who aren't gatherers have a way to get the new map.
Mm-hmm.
But they're adding in more gathering spots and such. So I believe all the new gathering spots they'll add are probably going to be in Elpis, and then if you hit one of the gathering spots in Elpis, you have a chance to get this map.
Yeah,
that is my theory. We won't know until it actually goes in. I'm the weird thing about content releases for me is while you're excited to do MSQ, Brandon, and Meagan, I don't know what you're excited about yet, but we'll find out in a second. I'm excited about the millions of gil I can make in the first 72 hours. Millions. And do you know how I make millions of gil? By gathering and by avoiding the MSQ and avoiding all of the other content that I really want to do, because there are millions of gil to make, because people are impatient sons of bitches. People want their mats. They want to craft all the things that they want to make them now. So I am more than happy to gather the stuff, put it on the market board, and sell it for literally 10 to 15 times what it will sell for a week later.
Oh
Exploiting people's impatience. That's how you make money in FF14.
Yes, it is. That is how I made a lot of the money I did to start up the whole freaking casino, is profiting off of other people's impatience. So that's going to be me the first couple of days, is just gathering and selling stuff on the market boards, and I'll hit the MSQ within the first week, but the first few days it's all business, baby.
Capitalism. Gotta love it.
Capitalism. But Meagan, what about you? What's got you hyped up?
Oh gosh, so many things. Like I'm really hyped about going back into Crystalline Conflict. I'm really hyped for the new arena. Like it's not just awesome aesthetically, the mechanics also look extremely fun and zany.
Something about like coins and favors. I saw a Kageyama thing.
So it is basically a Magic Ninja Castle. Like if you've ever watched like Ultimate Ninja Warrior, like all like there's trap floors. There's apparently trap doors, like literal doors where if you get too near it, it'll just suck you in and spit you out somewhere random on the map.
Nice. And then dudes commentating the whole thing, making fun of us.
I mean, maybe. And there's they call it the Pneumatic Parade, which is like a bunch of like clockwork things. One of them is the Clockwork Yojimbo, who just like walks through the map swinging his sword. One of them is an Omnioji, which are like Japanese, like I guess you would call them like wizards or like exorcists, kind of. But anyway, basically the game mechanic is that it walks through the map and then it stops at certain points, and if you're looking at it, you get miniaturized, which means that you like do less damage and you take more damage and you're a little tiny guy. And then the other one is Kageyama, who I had to figure out who the heck this was, but apparently he's in the Blue Mage quests.
I think he shows up in the Hildebrand stuff and Stormblood as well.
Did he? I don't remember that because I had no idea who he was. He's a ninja in like full golden outfit. He's a Rogadun, and he just like shows up somewhere and he'll throw out golden coins. And if you grab one of the golden coins, it fills your your meter.
Your limit gauge?
Your limit gauge, yes. There we go. So it's going to be like...
Yeah. I know you're thinking of, and I misspoke. I was mistaking him for the guy in the Hildebrand quest line with the ridiculous handlebar mustache.
Oh, yeah, no, Evil Waluigi.
Yeah, that guy.
No, Evil Wario. There's Evil Wario and there's Evil Waluigi. Which, I mean, they're just, regular Waluigi and Wario. But, yeah, he's like in a full ninja garb, like with the face mask and everything. But it's bright-ass gold, so, not exactly very effective. But, so it's going to be like constant limit breaks and like things just like flying at you, traps everywhere. And it's also like, a Imperial Japanese maze palace. It looks amazing. I'm very excited. And I'm also just excited to be able to get an instant queue for Crystalline Conflict again.
Enjoy it for the first month while you can.
I know. The first season, it never went away. Like it was instant queue through the whole thing. And then this time when it fell off, I was like, what? I don't understand.
Where are all of my friends?
Where's all the murder?
There's also a new mount that's, I'm guessing, because it's in the patch notes, it says there are new items that are purchasable with MGP, and it's this big blimp. And
I don't want to imagine what the cost on that is going to be.
So, about that, one of the things I was excited to talk about, but now I may have to be less excited to talk about, is that I am close to having 1 million MGP, and I was really excited because it would mean that I could finally buy the Cloud Strife Triple Triad card. Because that's kind of a big deal, except now there's this blimp, and I'm guessing this blimp is it's got to be 2 million. It's got to be at least 2 million.
What is the Sabotender mount going for?
Wasn't the Sabotender 5? I
don't know.
I know it's millions. It's more than 1 million. It's either 3 million or 5 million, I want to say. Maybe I'm misremembering and it's 2. But actually millions of MGP. And the funny thing about all this is I think the Make It Rain event is probably not far away. Because I thought that we had the Make It Rain event just a few months after Endwalker released, right? And it's been a year since Endwalker released, so I think Make It Rain is probably around the corner.
Yeah.
Which means I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the saucer for whenever that happens.
I'm just such not a fan of Leap of Faith. I'm so bad at it.
But there's this new Leap of Faith course in there, and now you don't. Here's the best thing about this new Leap of Faith course. It now means that you're not going to see that frickin' wall Leap of Faith anywhere near as often.
Look, man, I'm bad at the other one. I eat shit constantly. I literally cry about it and make Ward come do it for me. I hate it so much. I've never been good at platforming. I'm even bad at Mario.
This one has pink bouncy mushrooms, Meagan.
I don't care. I will be running towards a gate and see its Leap of Faith and be like, oh no, turn around and go do something else.
It's kind of like that Grandpa Simpson gift.
Yeah, nope.
Walk right back.
I'm terrible at it. I've never been any good at it. I'm constantly falling off of things and eating shit, and just the worst one is actually the one that's up in the sky because I'm just falling to my doom constantly. Ugh. I don't. There's some cog in my brain that is missing.
I could have told you that one.
It's
so when you do Leap of Faith, do you use a gamepad or controller for any bit of Final Fantasy 14? You're just keyboard only?
Just keyboard only.
Okay.
I'm a PC gamer, god damn it.
I understand. I understand, but if anyone has problems with Leap of Faith, connect a gamepad to your computer and try using the gamepad, and Leap of Faith is 10 times easier. Trust me on this. Trying to do Leap of Faith on keyboard is hell. I have tried doing Leap of Faith on keyboard. It is not fun. With a
You're supposed to be able to do it.
What?
You're supposed to be able to do it with the keyboard. God damn it.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there are people who do it on a keyboard. I see plenty of people get to the finish, and I know that a majority of people play on keyboard and not on gamepad. But Leap of Faith is it's so far more gamepad friendly than keyboard. It's not even funny.
Oh my god. Yeah, Ward's been playing Stray on keyboard. So he's always been like, haha, it's so easy. All you gotta do is just jump softly. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Jump softly?
And carry a big stick.
Just, edge up to the edge, turn towards it, and then just gently tap. Just gently tap. I'm like,
just tap it in. Just tap it in.
My problem is constantly overshooting stuff and just going flying into the void. Yeah, he's like really good at it, and I'm terrible.
Looks like there's a roller coaster I'm
looking forward to that. Sanctuary. I'm looking forward to everything Island Sanctuary related.
Yeah, lots of quality of life improvements too. It's like trying to go over all the quality of life stuff would take way too long, and that's not really the kind of stuff we do. But there's a ton of it.
Yeah,
and apparently they're obsessed with corgis now, like really obsessed.
I know. Where are we going to get the corgi from? Are you going to make me pay real money for it?
So
probably
the corgi earring and the corgi mask you get with certificates of commendation from Wondrous Tales.
Yeah. I feel like if we were going to get the corgi pet from Wondrous Tales, they would just tell us that up front, like they did with the other stuff.
Are you going to try Unreal Sophia?
Absolutely. That is actually one of the first things that me and Ward did in game. Was when we were little babies and we came on, and Heaven's Ward was the new hotness. I remember getting yeeted off of that platform.
I still don't know how that platform works in normal. I never survive it.
It was a very fun introduction because we were coming from World of Warcraft where the environment's just never a factor, like there are occasionally like trains or like things that will like, because I remember at the time it was Warlords of Draenor, and they had that train depot that you had to like get out of the way of the trains, and that was like the new cool thing. But like before that, and even since then that I played, I don't remember having, other than like there is a giant glowing circle on the ground. Do not be in the giant glowing circle.
Mm-hmm.
So
God, I still have nightmares about that freaking train fight.
Well,
send her on down the line. Oh, shut up.
We were doing, I don't remember if it was heroic or mythic at that point, but we were doing that. And then we came over to Final Fantasy where it was literally like, yeah, this is the transition phase where she's going to do a big bong bong and then just like yeet you. And you're like, what?
And
but yeah, you gotta
decide you're going to go flying.
Yeah. Oh, you have to be like all the way on the edge, and it stops you if you do it right, you literally come to a stop like half an inch from the other side. It's absolutely pants shitting. And so that and Alexander were the two rating things that really made a big impression on me when I first came over to Final Fantasy. And those are both extremely arena heavy raids where like things happen and like you're gonna get crushed by goblin balls. I remember we were doing the Alexander, and it's the one where it's like a long road, and then at one point he's like doing a steamroller's coming down the track, and there are and like spikes are coming up out of the floor, but there are also these giant literal metal balls like coming down, and like you have to be under the metal ball while the spikes go off, and then you have to get out of it because then the metal ball is going to come down. It was all this crazy stuff, which I had never seen before. And so I was like, oh my God, I have to keep track of so much stuff. And also, the raid team we were on was like, you should switch to machinist because I was a bard. And I was like, okay. And I literally did not understand how weaving worked, like, at all. Like, I did not get, like, you press, like, GCD and OGCD. I did not get that at all, because I was coming from WoW, where you hit the button when the button is ready. And there's no, like, do this on your GCD, do this on your OGCD. I didn't get any of it, and I was the worst. I was terrible. And, like, I think for all of Heaven's Word, I had no idea what I was doing for my rotation. Like, they were so patient. They were trying to help me, and there was a lot of, like, let's go out to the target dummy and practice. And, like, just staring at me with a deeply concerned face. I'm like, yeah, I'm shooting again.
I'm really surprised that the item level requirement for Unreal Sophia is only 565. Like, even Zim has almost 580 gear, and she doesn't even do a whole lot of content to gear up.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, the item levels for the Unreal trials have never been that super high, have they?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess because really with this stuff, it's like it's not as much about DPS, and it's more about just like execution and such anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Sophia's definitely an execution heavy fight, where if you're not standing in the right place, you will die.
Yeah. And I really feel like those fights are generally what sets Final Fantasy apart, because they have a lot of, like, really fun stuff. Like, I'm just remembering the Alexander Lake when you had to jump onto a jet airplane and get off the arena.
Was they going to nuke it from orbit?
Yeah. And then, and it was just like it was so unique and fun and, like, crazy. And, you know, it's just like a whole other part of the stuff you got to learn. And I'm thinking about, I'm like, I don't think the current raid has anything like that. Not really. Like, I kind of miss that. Were people complaining? Was that too difficult? Go back.
So,
well, I mean, it does have that hole that it tells you, "Hey, get in this hole," and then it takes a couple seconds for it to reform.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no,
that's true. We do have the tree fight, the Berserk tree,
the Berserk Great Old One tree.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only other thing that I can say about 6.3 that I'm excited to watch and not necessarily participate in is Omega Protocol. Because that should be a pretty crazy thing. Because, I mean, I forgot we're getting another Ultimate so soon. Yep, they're doing 2 Ultimates this expansion. So they did the whole DSR, they did the whole Dragon Song War Revisited, and they did some weird time travel wonky stuff with this. Omega Protocol, I'm hyped about that because one of the things they said in the live letter is if you want to prepare for the Omega Protocol fight, look at all the Savage fights and stuff like that. That means that they may be incorporating some of the Final Fantasy VI stuff again. We may see a little Kefka stuff happening. We may see a little stuff from like other the Final Fantasy characters like X-Death and Chaos and all that. I'm interested to see what elements make cameo appearances in that ultimate fight.
Something tells me Omega and Shinri are both going to show up at the same time.
Ooh, you know what? That would be pretty wild. Because, I mean, that was the whole thing at the start of the thing. It was like Omega versus Shinryu. So,
exactly.
And also there is a Hraesvelgr fight. So, will Hraesvelgr be involved? Who knows? But that should be. I don't know.
I feel like Hraesvelgr was already part of Dragon Song's Reprise heavily, wasn't he?
That's a good point. Hraesvelgr is just like part of a lot of stuff. Any other stuff that you guys are hyped about before we wrap up here?
I'm excited about the new outfits, the vests. I don't know. Are those going to be crafting clothes? Are those going to be just glamour items?
So I am pretty sure that the items you are referring to are probably crafted from drops in the treasure dungeon. Like they keep on adding different sets and stuff like that through crafting drops and stuff. I think that'll probably be the new hotness thing. Are you talking about the one where it says like new recipes have been added?
Yeah, like it doesn't say
those-
what kind they are.
I'd almost bet money on it that those are probably going to come from are going to be crafted from drops from treasure dungeons.
I would agree with that. It looks the pattern seems to indicate that this is where they would announce, "Hey, this outfit is available coming soon," and it's always the one from the treasure dungeon drops.
The Alliance raid gear looks pretty good. I wish it was dyeable. I don't think it is, but I really wish it was.
Yeah. I mean, it is a pretty color, but I also really wish it was dyeable.
I feel like it's a common trope for the Alliance raids. The gear's never dyeable, and everyone wishes it was.
Yeah. It'd be nice if, like, in the next patch or expansion, they would, like, let you upgrade it. Like, it doesn't even need to be the eye level. Just be like, no, you can get a dyeable version. Or even, like, a level 1 dyeable version would be sick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great. Look awesome as early as level 1.
Yeah.
I'm wondering which one would be for casters, though. Would that?
Yeah,
like if
I was wondering that too.
The caster one be the one that the Lalafell is wearing?
I mean,
that's my guess.
I feel like no matter what class I play, that always is the one that gets the ugliest gear. That patch. It's usually aiming, but I switched over to caster, and so they're like, "Oh,
time to screw them over."
You thought you'd get the cool one? Well, fuck you.
Hey, the caster gear out of freaking whatever the second set of Pandemonium raids is called looks really good.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Arcane Batman.
The Aglio one looked really cool too, but I was mostly doing Dancer back then.
Yeah, I have the full Aglia aiming set as well because I did it as machinist. And I'm like, well, this is interesting. Turn the glam right over that.
Yeah. I really liked the I like it when casters get like metal pieces, like armor looking stuff, even though it's kind of silly. So I really liked the arm bands from Aglia on my caster. Like I'd use that in a lot of glams that I don't use the main body for. But yeah.
All right. Brandon, any last bits of stuff that you're hyped about in 6.3?
I can't think of anything. This new clear blue theme for the UI looks pretty, I guess.
It does. I may be switching to it.
Yeah, I don't see anything else here in the notes. I'm scrolling through for stuff I'm super excited about. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much my where I'm focusing my hype for.
All right. I am very glad that I will be able to know where the entrance to deep dungeons are on my minimaps now. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been added. Our adventurer portraits are going to be far more prominent now. Like they're going to show up in a lot more things, like when you're doing dungeons. I mean, they're already apparent in PvP, but dungeons, commendations, all that stuff, people are going to see your style and stuff far more often. So
I'm mega hype about that.
Mine still looks pretty plain.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love making silly portraits.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's for more than just PvP.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how that's going to go over. I wonder if that's going to make people more annoyed to see them, especially in Alliance raid dungeons. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how the community shakes out with that one.
Yeah. We shall see.
I think it'll be funny as hell.
Me too. Well, on that note, I think we will go ahead and wrap up. Our next episode will be in a couple weeks when we've had plenty of time to get our hands on some of this stuff, and I'll be a few million richer, and you folks will probably be ahead of me in content, MSQ, and otherwise. And I mean, the MSQ for like a content patch doesn't necessarily take all that long to complete. So
no, it doesn't.
No.
There still could be a lot of cutscenes to get through.
I'm definitely going to rush straight there because I have to know what's going on with my newest waifu.
With Zero, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You and thousands and millions of other people as well. Until our report on Zero, our waifu Zero, and much more, Meagan, how can people find you outside of here?
You can still find me on Twitter at CatMomMeagan. It has a link to my Tumblr, which is where I'm more active these days, but just be aware that it is like 90% shitpost.
Accurate.
Also a lot of pictures of butterscotch.
Also accurate.
And a random, just like anything that I think is funny, I reblog it. Anything that makes me laugh, I reblog it. That's how I Tumblr.
Alrighty. And Brandon, how about you?
Twitter, Tumblr, Hive Social. I'm the BMAT pretty much everywhere, except Twitch, but let's not talk about that. Just go ahead and, follow me on there and see what I've got going on. I mean, I am like Meagan. I am mostly more active on Tumblr these days because just, getting away from all the current events in the world and hanging out with all my cool people posting, Final Fantasy screenshots is a lot more fun. What can I say?
Yeah.
As for myself, you can follow me at Podcaster Row on Twitter. It's Podcaster RHO. You can follow the show on Twitter at A Podcast Reborn, and you can email us at apodcastreborn@gmail.com. You can also listen to Brandon and I on a Dungeons & Dragons podcast called +5 to Hit. I just released a new episode not too long ago, and it has quite the ending for people who are following along. Yeah, that's all I'll say. But definitely having a lot of fun there. And if you have any interest in Casino RP, you can go to the crimsoncasino.carrd.co. That's the crimsoncasino.card.co, and let yourself get swallowed up in all my gambling hijinks. The theme for our show is Alex McCullough's Imagine Boss theme for Endwalker. Do check out his YouTube channel for more great music. A link to it can be found in the notes for this show. Of course, that music and other derivatives of Final Fantasy XIV music here on the show belongs to Square Enix, and no copyright is intended. That is going to do it for Meagan, for Brandon, and of course for Her Royal Highness Butterscotch. This is Brian Black. Until next time, may your loot rolls be high, your glamour fantastic, and your duties always complete. Brandon.
We're slightly out of season for this joke, so I apologize. But what is a Reaper's favorite drink to order at Starbucks? Pumpkin Scythe Latte.
So dumb, I kind of love it. Now if only there was an actual, pumpkin scythe. Like, a scythe with a pumpkin on it. I'd glam the shit out of that.
Sadly, I have no help for you there.